Hello and welcome to our webinar, Reading, Learning, Growing, SEL Titles for Young Readers. I'm Julia Smith, Senior Editor, Books for Youth at Booklist. Before we begin, I'd like to go over some technical details. Today's slide presentation and title list were included in the reminder email you received from Zoom 1 hour ago. To download them, please open that email, scroll to the bottom, and click on the links located there. You can also download the slides and title list by typing the URLs on this screen into your web browser. If you have any trouble, please contact us at webinars@booklistonline.com. The audience is in listen-only mode, but we welcome any questions you may have. On the bottom of your screen is a toolbar with a section for Q&A. If you have a question or need technical assistance, simply click Q&A and type your message into the box that appears. We will do our best to respond to all tech-related questions, and we'll pass along all other questions to today's panelists so they can follow up with you after the webinar. Booklist offers closed captioning on all webinars. To enable or disable them on your screen, please look for and click the Show Captions icon on the toolbar mentioned earlier. If you choose to enable subtitles, you can adjust the size of them at any time by selecting Caption Settings. And finally, Booklist expects all participants to maintain an atmosphere of respect and fairness. Anyone who violates this standard of behavior, including engaging in any form of harassment, may, at the discretion of the organizers, be immediately removed. Today, we have the pleasure of hearing from Samantha Devoda, Marketing and Sales Manager, Tundra Book Group, and imprint of Penguin Random House Canada, Graciela Patron-Colleen, publicist at Tundra Book Group and imprint of Penguin Random House Canada, Ellen Myrick, president of Publisher Spotlight, and Deidre Purvis, acquisitions editor at Free Spirit Publishing, an imprint of teacher-created materials. We will begin with the Tundra team. Sam Devoda is the Marketing and Sales Manager, School and Library at Penguin Random House Canada. Since 2017, she has worked in both marketing and publicity for young readers' titles at Penguin Random House Canada, and is now exploring the world of library sales, connecting with librarians and wholesalers across Canada, as well as at trade shows in the US, unless she's traveling for a concert. Graciela Patron-Colleen is a publicist working in the Young Readers Department at Penguin Random House Canada. She joined the publishing industry 2.5 years ago after 4 years of experience in PR for consumer brands, digital marketing, and influencer talent management on the agency side. She moved to Canada in 2020 from Mexico and now lives in Toronto with her 2 puppies. Thanks for joining us today, Sam and Graciela.
Hello. We can go to the next slide here. So, hi, I'm Sam, and I'm thrilled to start us off with a character who needs no introduction, Jelly. You may recognize Jelly from the Narwhal and Jelly books, but in This Book is Dangerous, Jelly gets his chance to shine, literally, since this cover glows in the dark. Did you see the title of this book? It says it's dangerous, and Jelly doesn't do dangerous. He's much too anxious. But maybe you can help him, as long as you don't make any loud noises, or touch anything, or, oh no, which way is the exit? Can you help? Like the classic There's a Monster at the End of This Book is Dangerous is a dangerously fun, interactive read-aloud that allows young readers to help Jelly on his journey. Though when certain choices get Jelly into even more sticky situations, our favorite little jellyfish has to learn to cope with his overwhelming feelings of apprehension, exasperation, and crankiness until he gets to the other side safe and sound. A little cameo from Jelly's best friend Narwhal ties this first picture book back into the overall series and introduces new readers to the world of Narwhal and Jelly. There are currently 9 books for you to enjoy, including some holiday-themed ones, plus keep an eye out for Book 10, A Waffle Lot of Love, coming your way at the end of the year.
Hi everyone, this is Graciela speaking, and I would like to introduce you to Little Sunny. She's a quiet and calm only child in a house full of adults, and although Sonny has a big family, she sometimes feels lonely and wishes she had somebody to play with. Now, Sonny gets her wish when a neighborhood kid knocks on her door and invites her to play outside with everyone. Sonny and the kids get to dance, blow bubbles, climb trees, and even kick a ball around. While Sonny is enjoying her time, the ball lands on her face, which makes her turn around and head home. Readers witness Sunny leave her comfort zone, and even though it ends up being eventually more than she can handle, we see at the end that she goes back to play again with the other kids. Author and illustrator Kathy Mori brings her inspiration from her own childhood in Taiwan, and her delicate and gorgeous artwork perfectly evokes both the calm and not so calm moments in Sunny's life.
If you've ever been accused of having your head in the clouds, this one is for you. Head Full of Clouds is about a girl who wakes up from a dream she can't quite shake. Her head is full of clouds, and the things she normally doesn't pay much attention to suddenly reveal new layers to appreciate. Puddles look like little oceans. She can almost see music drifting away from a street musician. A bite of apple inspires a poem. The girl finds beauty in every little thing, and when she meets up with a friend, she feels solid and grounded again, but she won't forget her dreamlike day anytime soon. Head Full of Clouds is a gorgeous contemplative ode to staying present and finding beauty in simple things, and has already received 4-starred reviews. Joanna Schwartz, author of the award-winning Town is by the Sea, delivers moving and lyrical text, while the art by Afsanai Sanai shines. Make sure to look for the spread that blends an image of a dog chasing a ball with the phases of the moon.
Jake, like many of us, is a dinosaur fanatic. So when his birthday approaches, he knows just what kind of party he wants. A dinosaur sleepover, of course. But when the big day arrives, all of his friends have come down with the flu, and the party seems to be on the edge of extinction. But to his surprise, Jake finds some prehistoric party guests right there in the living room. They're invited themselves in to make sure Jake has a birthday he'll never forget. Just don't tell the T-Rex. Jake has an incredibly night full of adventures around the city and learns to cherish the friends he has, to make room for new ones, and to embrace everyone, no matter how scary their claws or size can be. Linda Bailey adds to her dinosaur repertoire this unforgettable birthday tale with huge laughs and heart. Her text is complemented by John Bloom's cinematic artwork, which features scientifically accurate dinosaur designs. This picture book adventure deserved an equally dynamite poster, which we have available, so please email us if you would like some.
Warm and Fuzzy are best friends, and they are getting ready to go on an adventure. Sounds fun, right? But Fuzzy isn't sure. What if it's scary, or really cold, or really hot? Or what if there's no toilet paper? Warm reassures Fuzzy that they have everything they need, including toilet paper, and the two friends are finally able to head out. With themes of resilience, patience, bravery, and anxiety, Warm and Fuzzy presents a light-hearted and much-needed lesson for young readers who might need that extra toilet paper, reassurance, when embarking on a new adventure. Scott Rothman's conversational style makes Warm and Fuzzy easy and fun to read, while Brian Wan's warm palette and fuzzy creatures offer a comforting presence. Give this to the anxious young readers in your life who might need a reminder that they can get through any new experience. We have adorable sticker sheets celebrating these two best friends. Please email us if you would like some.
Amoya Blackwood is loud, bold, and carefree. Amoya Blackwood shows up with a smile on her face. She enters a room and takes up space. But one day, Amoya Blackwood starts noticing that the adults around her want to be less loud, less bold, and less carefree. They want her to take up less space, and so she does. She gets smaller and smaller and smaller until hardly anyone notices her at all, except her grandmother. Grandma reminds Amoya to let her light shine and not to let others determine who she is, and so Amoya finds herself again. Shantae Alik's powerful text shows the positive role that a trusted adult can play in a kid's life, and Erin Martin's brightly colored, effervescent artwork perfectly matches Amoya's personality.
Moving on to middle grade, How to Talk to Your Succulent is a new graphic novel perfect for fans of The Witches of Brooklyn and Raina Telgemeier. After her mom passes away, Adara and her dad move from California to Michigan to be closer to her grandmother. It's always been hard for Adara to talk to Dad, so she finds herself confiding in her new little succulent Pearl. And suddenly, Pearl responds. Adara discovers that, like her mother, she has the ability to talk to plants, and things start looking up. But Adara and Pearl both struggle to adapt to their new environment, and neither of them know how to ask for the help they need. With a touch of magic, this debut middle grade graphic novel explores loneliness, mental health, and empathy, and shows how communication, openness, and a willingness to listen can help you navigate big feelings. How to Talk to Your Succulent is gorgeously written and illustrated by Zoe Persico and has received 1-starred reviews so far, plus a ton of love online as well as in person when Zoe attended TLA earlier this month. I don't know anyone who has managed to get all the way through this heartfelt graphic novel without crying at least once, and I highly encourage you to pick it up to see for yourself. It's available in both hardcover and paperback. Zoe's art is so sweet, we made sticker sheets featuring all the houseplants, including Pearl, of course, for you to take home. Please email us if you would like some.
Lastly, I want to share with you a book made for anyone who wants to explore the world of art. Acclaimed art and editorial director of Illustrated magazine, Elizabeth Hadel, has created an essential and captivating guide to drawing, full of artful exercises and perfect for anyone seeking a creative adventure. New artists will learn about scale, perspective, texture, contrast, line, and other elements of art, with prompts and exercises that will satisfy both new and more experienced artists. All you need is a drawing surface, a drawing tool, a dot, and a line. Whatever your skill level is, you're invited to draw along. Thank you.
In addition to the books we just talked about, we have a few upcoming titles that fit the themes of social-emotional learning, mental health, and wellness. Little Shoes, coming out at the end of July, is a beautiful offering from beloved author David A. Robertson about an Indigenous boy's journey to overcome the generational trauma of residential schools. In September, Marilyse Brown introduces us to Spaghetti, a little mouse who loves collecting leftovers and creatively recycling them into something new. October brings us 2 books about grandparents. In Broken, the latest book from X-Fang, May accidentally breaks her grandma's favorite cup and tries to blame it on the cat until her guilty conscience kicks in, while Melanie Florence and Matt James give us the one about the blackbird, a tender conversation starter about dementia and Alzheimer's disease, following a boy who connects with his grandfather through a shared love of music. We'd love to stay in touch and talk more about all of Tundra's books this year. Please feel free to reach out to us via email or on social media. Thanks for listening, and thanks Booklist for hosting this webinar.
Thank you so much, Sam and Graciela. And now we'll hear from Ellen Myrick. Ellen began Publisher Spotlight 15 years ago to promote and market independent and international children's book publishers. She recently co-chaired the IBI Regional Conference in Nashville and has presented at ALA, ABA, and regional conferences. You can catch her on kidlit.tv with Rocco Stano for seasonal showcases featuring the highlights from 20-plus publishers. Follow at Pub Spotlight on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Pinterest for more diverse, inclusive, and beautiful books from around the world for children and teens. Take it away, Ellen.
Thank you, Julia. And I do want to make one correction. No Twitter, but we are on Blue Sky. Thank you very much. So moving on, SEL titles for young readers. Oh my goodness, Tundra, what gorgeous books you have. Well, I have books from so many different publishers, from 10 different publishers. We have books in English and Spanish, and we're going to begin with really broad collections of different emotions. So feel all the feelings while we're going through this. First up from Child's Play, we have Child's Play. We have the First Feelings. These are board books. So as you can see, Angry, Happy, Love, Sad, Scared, Surprised is what we've got there. Next slide. And then we've got these coming out on all these boards. We also have First Behaviors coming out soon. These are non-gendered characters, and each one focuses on a different feeling, as you can see. And what I love about these is that basically Child's Play was doing this before it was cool. They were doing books about feelings and also about diversity. And this is a great way to show this. And they also did the research. They worked with the Sussex Baby Lab to create these books. And the next slide will show us how these are also available in Spanish. So if you're needing these in Spanish, then guess what? Child's Play has you here, as well as in so many other wonderful books about feelings in English and in Spanish. Next up, we have from Flower Pot Press, Choose Your Own Attitude. So this is a series of books by Gail Hayes, and she is a child psychologist. So this is a series that she's created over time. Each book is devoted to a different kind of strategy or a feeling, and it presents 10 different children who are experiencing that feeling and then how they work through that feeling to get to the other side and be in a more healthy state of mind. So these are gorgeously done. Gail is incredibly astute at this. And what I love is that it's examples that kids can really follow and understand. These are the other ones that are in the series of Anxious, Happy, Grateful, Worry. And then this year is Calm. I think we all can use an extra helping of Calm right now. So yeah, check it out from Flower Pot, available in both paperback and in hardcover. So that is that. From Magic Cat Publishing, a great name for a publisher, we have Little Dinosaurs, Big Feelings. So this is another survey which has lots of different feelings. Here we have 10 different little dinosaurs, all with their own characteristics. And then as we go through the book, we're going to explore each dinosaur and that feeling and different strategies and how they can get over it. This one is really, really good for preschoolers. So it can be used as a lap sit. It can be used in a classroom setting. It can be used in so many different ways. And I think that the dinosaur illustrations just make it that much more inviting for kids. It's easier to get excited about how somebody is feeling and working through and imitating those if they have horns on their head, I think. So that is Little Dinosaurs, Big Feelings. And this is done also in conjunction with child psychologist Walton Haddon. He's done so many great books. And then this is a new illustrator, Yiting Lee. And I think you'll agree with me that she is pretty darn good at dinosaurs. Can't wait to see what else she has. Themes of identifying and managing a variety of emotions, and of course, a great review here from Booklist. Let's hear for Booklist, an adorable, vibrant take on understanding the world of emotions. So thank you very much. Next up from Albatross, who is based in the Czech Republic, but don't worry, it's in English and it's amazing. This is me getting to know yourself and others better. So this is another book that looks into lots of different emotions. And what I like about this one is it starts with the person you are, but then looks at other people around you and helps kids understand that every person has an equal center of self, which is a hard lesson that I know a lot of grownups haven't quite mastered. So this is a book that a kid can read on their own, or it can be used in a classroom situation as well. This is obviously for an older reader than what we've had for in the books we've talked about prior to this. I just think that it's very relatable. The kids are going to see themselves here, and it's just something that will help them flex their empathy muscles. We also have a beautiful review from another publication down below that got a star, and that is This Is Me from Albatross Publishing, Albatross Books. From Barefoot Books, we have Some Days I'm the Wind. Now, this is words by Rebecca Garden Livington, and you may think her name is somewhat familiar. She did Tomorrow Always Comes, and this is just a beautiful story about a girl who's feeling all the emotions herself. Don't need 10 kids to get through all those emotions. And this one child is going to have all these different things, and it likens it to the weather outside. I don't know about you, but sometimes when people are asking me how I'm feeling on a day that it's kind of, I'll say partly cloudy, a slight chance of rain. And this is kind of a way of getting to that same information. And like all good Barefoot books, it has amazing back matter. So it just has lots of great strategies. If you could go back to that slide right before with the back matter, you can see there's a quiz in here. There's a way you can look through and see different emotions and try to gauge it from people's facial expressions, which can be especially good for kids who are neurodiverse, and also lots of other activities you can do. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate that. Moving on. That is Some Days I'm the Wind. And we have from New Frontier Publishing. This is a publisher based in Australia. And by the way, all the publishers I show you are easily available here in the United States. I would not show you somebody you could not get, because that's mean, and we're not mean. But here we have a story of a penguin, and there is something scary coming down the pike. They are in Antarctica. There's a great beast coming. They're all scared. They have to figure out how to stop panicking and how to get organized. And then what I love about this one is all the papa penguins come in together, and they gather around the little ones, and they protect the little ones from the great beast that is coming over the horizon. and they don't really understand what's coming, but they know it's scary. So I think the illustrations are just very exciting. This is a storybook, so this is something where you can talk about managing fear in a story situation that can be used in a classroom read aloud, story time read aloud opportunity. So yeah, this is New Frontier Publishing, and this is a series called Dealing with Feeling. So this is friendship over fear. So working with your friends to get over your fear, which is something that I think we all can learn from right now too. So thank you so much, Saving Piku. Next up from Tiger Tales, I love Johnny Lambert. I love his illustrations. There's something about his animals. They are just so expressive, right? So this is a little dog who sees this beautiful blue butterfly. And as happens, I want everybody else to enjoy the beautiful thing you're seeing too, right? If you see a beautiful sunset, don't you call it everyone around saying, hey, let's go open the windows and look at the sunset. In this case, there's a beautiful blue butterfly. He tries to pull everybody to see it, and nobody is paying attention. And it's very frustrating because this beautiful blue butterfly is not going to be staying around. Say that 10 times fast. Beautiful blue butterfly. Okay, yes, I can do it. But nobody notices a blue butterfly. Someone almost hits it with their bike. But in the end, it's really a study in mindfulness, in noticing where you are, in taking a moment to breathe and see how beautiful the world is around you. So Johnny Lambert did The Only Lonely Panda, so many other books that talk about feelings. So if you're looking for an author illustrator who really has mastered the way of getting animals to express emotions, then this is one for you, Johnny Lambert, who's with Tiger Tales, but also has done things with other publishers too. So thank you very, very much. Next up from Nosy Crow, we have My Path. Now, snails have kind of had a moment for the last year or two, don't you think? Lots of great picture books about snails. And in this case, we have this snail who is very dedicated to following her own path. And it's so hard to figure out what path that should be and how to be true to yourself and who you are. And sometimes you may go a different direction than everybody else. And that is okay. What I love about this one is that you can see the little trail here. So that trail is actually a really shiny, silvery color. So this is bling, book bling with meaning, which I absolutely love. But in the end, it's all about learning how to follow your own path, being true to who you are, and having courage to take the road less traveled. Robert Frost will be proud. The other cool thing about these books is, like so many of the Nosy Crow books, is it also has audio included, which is free along when you purchase the audio. I mean, when you purchase a book, there's a QR code to the free audiobook. So that is My Path from our friends at Nosy Crow. Next up, we have from Red Comet Press, A Surprise in the Wood. This is such a beautiful book, and it has great book feel. You know what I mean? When a book just feels good in your hand, the cover is slightly textured. And we have here these two bears, and they decide to adopt. And what do they adopt? They adopt this fish. Now you're thinking, this is going to be challenging. And yes, it is. So they take the fish, and it's a story about learning how to adapt to each other's in different environments. And when the fish is clearly not going to be able to come out and play with them, they go to a place where the fish can be free and they can meet the fish on the fish's terms. This is written by the parents of a child who has a genetic disability. And comes very much from that experience of trying to meet the child where the child is. And a portion of the proceeds from the book go to research on that specific issue. It's just such a lovely story about adoption, and especially a challenging adoption in this case, where it is a child who has a lot of special needs that you need to adapt to. So that is A Surprise in the Wood from our friends at Red Comet Press, about overcoming challenges, finding and celebrating family, and of course, acceptance and love, unconditional love. So Cuento de Luz, who is a publisher based in Spain, does books in English and Spanish. And you know that book about you had earlier from Tundra that was called Broken? Well, this kind of could be a good pairing with that. So what we have here are a father and son, and the father finds these special words that are unique to his language. And he puts them on a little piece of paper and puts them in this really beautiful bowl. And every day he pulls out a different word, and it always is a different word. And they talk about that word. One day the child knocks over the beautiful vase and it breaks on the floor and the words scatter. They gather all the words back together and they put them together. And then they exercise the Japanese art of kintsugi, which is mending with gold the thing that was broken. So it's even more beautiful when it's been broken, when it's put back together. So you have this great model for kintsugi, and I love the glossary here. So it's a Spanish book, and it's a glossary in English of Japanese words. How multinational can you get? I think that's about as multinational as you can do. And as I said, it's in both English and Spanish, The Vase of the Golden Crux and El Jarrón de las Grietas Dorados in Spanish, and themes of forgiveness, learning from mistakes, and understanding that it's okay not to be perfect. Boy, I bet I can, I don't know about you, but I can learn that lesson every day. I do learn that lesson every day. Moving on to Lantana, which is a publisher based in the UK, is The Playdate. So this is a story about a little girl and her mother, and they are going to go on a special journey to have a play date with a friend, and they get there and she's playing with her new friend, and then you realize through the illustrations that her mother is the housekeeper. So this is a story about economic diversity. And then the little girl is there and she sees all the toys that her friend has, and she takes one home. And then she realizes that was really a mistake. And she tells her mother, and her mother's worried about losing her job. It turns out okay in the end, but it really is a very heartfelt way of exploring that challenge of, trying to adapt, and people playing across economic divides, but figuring out a way to be together, and also forgiveness and love and envy and all those things. And again, it all comes back to empathy, doesn't it? Just understanding how it is to walk in somebody else's shoes. Something else really fun about this one, the author is, he's the former frontman for Dr. Cosmos, which is a Swedish pop band, and was the press secretary for the king or the prime minister of Sweden. So how much fun is that? So that is The Playdate from Lantana Publishing. And there's just so much in this book. It just does a lot with very few words, and I absolutely love it. Moving on to our next book is The Gone Book. So this is from Little Island Books in Ireland, and it's already gotten several starred reviews, including from Booklist. Thank you very much, Booklist. So this is a book about Matt, and Matt and his father were left by his mother, and his father got divorced. The mother took off and left them, and they kind of had to piece their lives back together again and figure out how they were going to adapt. Matt starts writing a letter regularly to his mother, and he sticks them all in a binder. 5 years later, his mother comes back, and he is bitter. He is angry. And this is not a book that soft sells that kind of anger. This is one that really is, well, it's realistic. And this is Helena Close really knows what she's talking about. She works with young people, and it is so beautifully written and expressed. And it has won several awards in the UK and Ireland, and it is on its way here in the US. It is such a powerful thing. And if you would have an interest in this, feel free to email me. I can send you a NetGalley copy of this at ellen@publisherspotlight.com. So yes, excellent in every regard. And then next up we have The Ordinary Life of Jacquemus Gainsborough. This is a picture book from Postwave Children's Books. And you're saying, who are they? I don't know them. Well, they're distributed by Chronicle. It is it's a UK company, and they have a Chinese ownership, but it's a UK publishing, UK editorial, and also they've opened up a US office. Now look at this bunny. Is this not the cutest bunny you've seen in a long, long time? So here is little Jacquemus. We're going to look at his life. He has a little accident when he's a child, and then he has to walk with a crutch. So this is overcoming disability, but still living an incredibly rich life. He has all these adventures. He meets all these amazing people. Look at all these amazing people and things he learns from all those people. And at the end of the day, he is so much richer for all these experiences, and he never let anything hold him back. This is a book that is to be savored. You want to linger over every page and just live in it for a while. I saw this book at Bologna 2 years ago, and I could not wait for somebody to bring it out here in the US. And I was so happy when Postwave did, because I've been kind of, I won't say obsessed, but certainly very smitten with this art and the story and this incredibly wonderful little rabbit, Jacquemus Gainsborough. So that is coming to us from Postwave Children's Books. And that is what I have for you today. Thank you so much for everything you do to help kids work through all those big feelings, because heaven knows we all have them right now. If you'd like to reach out to me, ellen@publisherspotlight.com. And please check out Pub Spotlight for the best of the best from the small presses. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ellen. Our presenter Coming up next will be Deirdre Purvis. Deirdre is the acquisitions editor at Free Spirit Publishing, focusing on board books, picture books, nonfiction books for kids and teens, and professional resources. Deidre earned her MFA in creative writing from Hamline University and has worked as a teacher and children's book list curator and bookseller. When not connecting books and readers, she enjoys hiking and bicycling. Thank you for being here, Deidre. The floor is yours.
Great, thank you. I'm excited to be here and excited to follow all of these great books that have already been presented. We can go to the next slide. To start, I would love to share a little bit more about TCM. Teacher Created Materials began in 1977 when founder and CEO Rochelle Crocchiolo wrote her first book, Quick Fun Art, with a fellow teacher. TCM then continued to expand its product line, always using the latest research and best classroom practices to ensure student success. Today, TCM is a leading educational publisher. Everything we publish is still created by teachers, for teachers and students. And in 2021, TCM expanded its reach beyond the classroom into homes around the world when we acquired Free Spirit Publishing. And next. And for over 40 years, Free Spirit, we stay true to our mission to provide children and teens and the adults who care for and about them with the tools they need to think for themselves, overcome challenges, and make a difference in the world, dovetailing perfectly with TCM's mission. Next is just a quick slide to introduce me. I've already been introduced, so we can go to the next slide. And so starting with board books. First, we have the release of our 6-book board book series, Curious Me, all available now. These engaging board books introduce key early learning concepts while encouraging a toddler's natural sense of curiosity and instilling a love of learning from an early age. These books connect to toddlers' interests, experiences, and natural curiosity with a range of topics. They support pre-literacy skills with rich vocabulary, engaging text, and artistic visuals, and they include tips for caregivers. The Curious Me series features bright, engaging illustrations by different artists, introducing children to various artistic styles and making the series uniquely collectible. And so next we'll look at some interiors. Next, yep. And here we have, Curious Me Families by Allison Banky, illustrated by Addie Sonda. This lyrical board book shows how all families, big and small, hold a special place in our hearts. And next we have Curious Me Feelings, written by Avery Robideau and illustrated by Kate Croniff. This book explores a range of emotions from happiness and excitement to fear and frustration. And next we have Curious Me Animals by Allison Benke and illustrated by Marilla Mariani. And this book takes readers on a journey to discover all sorts of fascinating animals. And finally, for the series, we have Curious Me Numbers by Donna Herwick-Rice and illustrated by Camilla Kerosene. This book takes readers on a journey from 1 to 10. So just a few previews from that series. And next we have the Outside Our Window board book series for ages up to 4, written by Melina Mangle, who is a school library teacher, and illustrated by Stella Lim. And by the way, happy Earth Day. The first 2 books in this series released today on Earth Day. So we're really excited to celebrate with the author today. Join cousins Camille and Josiah as they explore the world outside their windows. This series encourages children, especially those in urban neighborhoods, to explore, protect, and delight in nature. Next, we'll look at some interiors. Each book in the series focuses on one feature of the natural world, like trees, birds, squirrels, and wind, one sense, sight, sound, touch, and smell, and one communication or relationship skill, such as family connection or social awareness. And next, we'll see some more interiors. Here we have Birds Sing Their Words. Camilla and Josiah take a springtime walk through a city neighborhood, noticing how birds communicate. The children learn that our own diverse voices parallel the many songs that birds sing. Next, we have Trees Stand Tall, where Camilla and Josiah notice and admire the trees outside their window. They go on a summertime family picnic where they observe and mimic the trees with their cousins, ultimately learning that children stand tall and are also flexible and strong, just like trees. And next we have Squirrels Scamper. Camilla and Josiah discover the busy world of squirrels after a fall day of joyful exploration and teamwork, including raking leaves and diving into leaf piles. The children realize that, like the squirrels, we too spend our days working and playing, celebrating the harmony of nature and the rhythm of life. And lastly, we have Wind Whirls. Camilla and Josiah take an early winter walk through a city neighborhood, bracing against the wind as they make their way to their grandparents' home. Young children learn that together they can stand stronger and find their way through any weather. A truly beautiful board book series. And so next we have the ICU board books by Deborah Farmer-Criss, who is a child development expert, and illustrated by Jane Massey. Celebrate toddlers' growth and learning with these engaging books designed to recognize and affirm toddlers' developmental milestones. Each story follows a toddler through their daily routine, promoting themes of kindness, curiosity, and self-expression. And next, some interiors. Here we have I See You Sing. Whether singing, crying, laughing, clapping, or cheering, a caregiver celebrates the many ways a toddler communicates throughout the day. Next, we see I See You Wonder. A caregiver notices and celebrates the important work a toddler is doing as they explore their world and ask questions. And next, in I See You Play, this book notices and affirms all the ways toddlers are growing and developing as they play independently, side by side, and together, whether it's dressing up, dancing, painting, or splashing. And next, we will be moving on to our SEL picture books. First, we have How to Train Your Amygdala by Anna Housley-Juster and illustrated by Cynthia Cliff. This book is already available in English, and the English-Spanish bilingual edition publishes this August. Your amygdala works hard to protect you from danger, but what about when it gets things wrong? This amusing character-driven narrative helps children learn to calm their amygdala and control their fight, flight, freeze impulses. Like you'll find in many Free Spirit books, the author's expertise really sets this book apart. In addition to being a child mental health clinician, Anna used to work as director for Sesame Street and has a deep understanding of how to talk to kids about fear and anxiety in a fun and approachable way. Next, we'll look at interiors from the bilingual edition. This book teaches anxiety calming strategies like deep breathing, visualization, and progressive relaxation, and it presents serious content in an engaging and playful manner. Next, we have the lovely Thank You World series for children ages 4 to 8, written by debut author Dan McCauley, a lifelong educator and learning advocate, and illustrated by Joe Loring-Fisher. We have the first 3 books in the series to look at, with many more on the way. The Thank You World series features lyrical stories about appreciating nature, connecting with our senses, and being present in the moment. These soothing books help young readers let go of stress, observe without judgment, and remain optimistic. Each book follows a child on a mindfulness walk while connecting with both family and nature. These books are perfect for helping children grow a sense of appreciation, helping them develop emotional resilience. And next, let's dig into the 3 gorgeous books, starting with a spread from Thank You Night. A child is feeling anxious as the day winds down. Then he hears a soft breeze greeting him with a tap on his window. Curious, he decides to go for a walk with Papa. They wander where nature beckons, following their senses and letting their minds find peace. And next, we'll look at Thank You Rain. And Thank You Rain, a family walk in the rain helps a young girl gain perspective and appreciate nature in all its forms. Watching rain dance down her window, a child is feeling cooped up and gloomy. Then Dad comes home and insists that they go on their evening walk in the rain. Together, Dad, the girl, and her little brother enjoy the rain and discover a new perspective. And finally, we have Thank You Sun. And Thank You Sun, a boy appreciates his connection to the sun, despite how far away it is, just as he appreciates his connection with his mama. As the boy spends the day with his mama, they plant seeds, splash each other with water, and dance, all while letting their minds find peace. In all of these books, you will love the gorgeous art from Joe Loring-Fisher. Next, we have the complete 6-book series, We Find Feelings Clues, written by Lindsay Giroux and illustrated by Alicia Tiba Godoy. This paperback series for ages 3 to 7 helps children understand how to identify body clues in themselves and in others, recognizing how emotions look and feel, including both primary and secondary emotions. Our author, Lindsay Giroux, is a true expert in teaching emotions to young children. She specializes in coaching early childhood educators on social emotional development and preventing challenging behavior. She is currently the manager of educational quality, inclusion, and behavior support for Bright Horizons. And next, we will look at some internal spreads. I Know Curious is a book about feeling curious, bored, and confused. It will complete the 6-book series and is releasing this December. Inside each book, the reader will find illustrations show the full range of body language associated with each emotion. Next, we have I Know Silly, available now. It's a book about feeling silly, shy, and embarrassed. Our main character feels silly when he plays with his siblings at a restaurant, shy when the server comes to take his order, and embarrassed when he spills his glass of water. By noticing the clues in his own body, a laughing face, eyes that want to look away, and scrunched shoulders, the young feelings detective can also recognize when his family members feel the same way. And next, we have I Know Scared, a book about feeling scared, worried, and surprised, and it will be available in August. And next, we will move to the mini musical tales from Bird Mountain series. Written for ages 7 to 11, the mini musical Tales from Bird Mountain School picture book series blends literature and the performing arts, offering an immersive storytelling experience. These books are written by co-authors Mary Randhess, a poet, playwright, composer, and New York Times bestselling author, and Randy Preston, a composer, writer, photographer, educator, and performer. And they're illustrated by Morella Pirelli. In collaboration with the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, this innovative series fosters creativity, imagination, and a love for the arts, making storytelling a truly interactive adventure. Each book provides online access to a script and original song recordings, allowing readers to bring the story to life as a mini musical, just like the characters in the book. Next, we'll look at interiors. In Bravo for Backstage, Oscar dreams of being in the spotlight, but when the lead role in the school play goes to someone else, he finds himself in an unexpected role, stage manager. Disappointed and unsure, Oscar wonders, can you still be a star if no one sees you? Next, in Chicken Predicament, when Lady Cluckery runs away, the students in Dr. Preston's class know they need to find her before the bell rings to dismiss them for the weekend. They'll have to split up if they want to find Mama Chicken and care for her eggs until they hatch. Next, we'll look at this a little more. Like all the books in the series, Chicken Predicament pairs an online musical performance kit with an illustrated story. It features characters with creative problem solving and encourages teamwork to tackle big challenges. And finally, we have The Great Dance On, a book that teaches us that everyone should feel safe dancing however they want. Nevaeh is nervous. Tomorrow is the first dance-off in Miss Tarrington's class. It's supposed to boost students' energy for the rest of the week, but a dance concert isn't Nevaeh's idea of a good time, and she's not alone. This book gives children ideas for self-expression alongside their peers and explores how we can help others feel comfortable being themselves. Next, we have Tummy's Flip, Heart Skip, a book about how feelings feel by Chris Downing and illustrated by Vivian Meinker. This picture book for ages 6 to 10 helps children recognize how their bodies respond to emotions. Happiness might feel warm and tingly. Embarrassment might feel hot and prickly. Fantastical illustrations depict a young girl's emotional journey through a larger-than-life scenarios, sparking readers' imaginations. Through simple, engaging text, this book helps children learn the body's language so they can decode the sensations they feel and name their emotions and learn to self-regulate. The author, Chris Downing, is a licensed clinical social worker and somatic experiencing practitioner. Next, we'll see an interior. Vivian Meinker's magical and expressive art is a key feature of this book. Her art evokes physical sensations, bringing the emotions to life, helping the reader imagine how feelings feel in their own body. Next, we have Sometimes Stormy coming out this October by author-illustrator Amanda Davis. It explores what it's like to live with a parent struggling with alcohol use disorder. A young boy named Ezra realizes his dad is plagued by a troubling storm, the Sometimes Storm, that sometimes visits their home and changes dad. He wants to make it go away, but when the storm persists, Ezra turns to caring adults who help him discover how to live with the Sometimes Storm instead. Next, an interior spread. This book supports children in understanding alcohol use disorder and other addictions, helping to end the silence around addiction for more families and children. The author-illustrator Amanda Davis writes from lived experience, and she includes strategies supported by child psychologists. This book is written using lyrical first-person text and assures children that an adult's addiction is not their fault. Next, we'll look at a few books for older kids, starting with the Little Laugh and Learn series. It's now a complete 6-book series. These are self-help kid style for ages 6 to 9, with practical advice, silly jokes, fun illustration, and a kid-centric point of view. These books are the go-to for help with everything from triumphing over teasing to learning to be a fantastic friend to becoming a self-confident superstar and more. Next, we'll look at our newest title, High Worry, Bye Worry, publishing this August by Elizabeth Verdick and Olivia Ray, and illustrated by Steve Mark. This book empowers children to build habits and skills to deal with worry in healthy ways, offering children a range of healthy, empowering, worry-taming strategies. Next, we have the 4th edition of the Survival Guide for Gifted Kids for ages 10 and under by Judy Galbraith. It will be available this October. This is the essential guide for growing up gifted. It's an interactive illustrated book that helps gifted and talented children understand and appreciate their gifts. Featuring real quotes from gifted kids, this book answers questions like, what does gifted mean? Why am I gifted? How can I make school more engaging? How do I make friends? This upbeat, informative, friendly, and compact book has been a trusted resource for decades, and this 4th edition includes updated research on giftedness, fresh resources, and new content on neurodivergence, helping readers understand what it means to be gifted. And lastly, we just have a few parenting resources to shout out to support our young readers. Nurturing Your Child's Well-Being is already available in English and will be available in Spanish this October. These are accessible parent guides focused on connection and well-being. Nurturing Your Child's Well-Being make it easy to gain social emotional skills and pass those skills along to your child. These books are available to support parents of 3 age groups: early elementary, upper elementary, and middle school. And then finally, we have It's Their World and Raising Awe Seekers. It's Their World equips you with the tools and understanding to guide teens confidently as they navigate their changing body, evolving identity, and ever-present use of technology. This book tackles important topics such as sexting, cyberbullying, and online pornography, and explores monitoring, boundaries, and mental health. Raising Awe Seekers is a truly inspiring book for parents and caregivers. Through research, interviews, and personal stories, Deborah Farmer-Criss explores how awe and wonder can and should be part of every childhood, and how becoming an awe seeker can change your life and your parenting in profound and concrete ways. And that is all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deidre, and a huge thank you to all of today's wonderful panelists. Tomorrow, all attendees will receive an email containing links to today's video recording, slide presentation, title list, and a certificate of completion. For more about Booklist webinars, be sure to visit booklistonline.com/webinars, where you can view archives of past webinars and register for upcoming ones, like those you see here. You can also find out the latest webinars on our social channels. Visit us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and now Blue Sky. We are thrilled to announce that the digital version of Booklist Reader, the monthly reader's advisory magazine from the editors of Booklist, is now an ALA member benefit. Head over to our new site to start reading. And if you're not already a Booklist subscriber, you'll use your ALA membership ID to sign in. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. And a huge thank you to our panelists and sponsors, Tundra Book Group, an imprint of Penguin Random House Canada, Publisher Spotlight, and Free Spirit Publishing, an imprint of teacher-created materials. This concludes today's webinar. See you next time.